Hello students, welcome to your class. This is your moral science class. Today we will learn a new story, that is the big tree and the small one. In this story we will learn about two most important characteristics. One is pride and another one is humility. So both are two different things, that means both are just opposite to each other. So what is pride and what is humility? Pride, that means when you brag about something. That means suppose you are very rich and another one is very poor. So you are bragging that I am very rich, I can do whatever I want, I can buy whatever I want. That is called pride. Okay? Or suppose you are very good in writing, or you are very good in the class, you are very good in reading, and another boy or another girl is not as good as you. So you are bragging about that, means, oh, I am the first boy of the class, or I am the first girl in the class, and you know nothing, you are very stupid. So if you underestimate another one, and if you love yourself, self-love becomes very high in your character. That is called pride. We should love ourselves first, but we should not be blind on that love that we cannot see another man's pain or another man's struggle. So that is called pride, when you do not value another person in according to your value, or you can say that means when you underestimate someone because you know more than him, or you have more than him. That is called pride. And humility is that when you know about yourself, when you do not pull down anyone, do not underestimate anyone, when you respect each other, but you know your limits. That means you know what you can do, but you are not showing off, right? You know when to bend, when to be calm, when to be gentle, when to be angry. You know that things. That is called humility, knowing yourself better. Okay? So when you are comfortable with yourself, but at the same time you are comfortable with the things, you know, being aware of the fact that you can learn something from everybody. That means when humility is that thing that you know yourself better, but you know others also, you want to learn something from them. You know that everyone can give you lessons, everyone can teach you different things. So you have the ability to accept that. That is called humility. Okay? Gentle, calm and polite behavior is considered as humility. So in this story we will find out that in a jungle there was a big tree and a small tree. Big tree mainly, let's learn the story, then you will know it better. So first, in a forest far away, two trees grew side by side. One was a huge yellow tree and other was a small Keurboom tree. Keurboom as a flowering tree. Okay, here in the bracket you can see flowering plant is written. So the yellow wood was very, very tall. It had a great thick trunk and a very thick branches. The small Keurboom had lots of thin branches, and it was not even half the height of the yellow wood tree. The yellow wood had plenty of self-love. I told you that self-love is important, but do not cross the limits. That you love yourself, that is good thing, but for your love you can hurt anyone, you can hurt anyone's feelings. That is not good. The yellow wood had plenty of self-love, and the biggest tree in the forest and the most important, as I am. So he used to say, no tree is as big as I am. You are so little and weak, he said to the Keurboom. Why don't you grow up and become a proper tree like I am? What could the little Keurboom say? Little Keurboom had nothing to say, right? So he just stood there and felt sad. Then one day some birds came flying by. Watch out, a huge wind is coming. It's a hurricane. Run, hide away. So here you can see birds are calling out. Why birds are calling out? Because animals can sense better than anyone else. When there is any danger is coming, any natural calamity is going to happen, animals can sense that before anyone else. So birds can sense that a hurricane is coming. Birds can fly and they can see that a hurricane is coming, a big tornado is coming, very big wind, or you can say very strong wind is called a hurricane. So they are suggesting go, run away and hide away. But trees cannot run away and hide. Oh, don't worry about those silly little birds. And what they say, said the yellowwood. Yellowwood was very self-pride. That means he had so much pride in him that he said to Keurboom that don't listen to the birds. So I am so big and strong that nothing can harm. So Yellowwood was very proud for himself, right? Proud of himself. So he said that nothing can harm him. Then the wind began to blow harder and harder. The wind got very strong. It blew harder to harder. The trees began to wave their branches and wave in the wind. So what the other trees were doing, they were very small and they have very small branches. So they were just waving according to the wind, that which side the wind is going, the trees branches are going on that side also. They are not going against, or they are not standing still. They are just moving their branches and heads. Okay. So laughed the big yellowwood. There is just a little wind and you are waving and bending about. Look at me, I just stand firm and laugh at the wind. So the yellowwood was laughing. That means yellowwood was laughing at the little Keurboom tree because it was bending according to the wind. It was waving its branches and bending according to the wind. So these things amazed the yellowwood because he was so strong that that small wind cannot harm him. He was so confident about that. So after that, the Keurboom, the wind got stronger and stronger and the Keurboom waved about and bent over. So how much the wind got stronger, the Keurboom also moved its heads and its branches. You weakling, so weak, why don't you stand tall and strong like I do? So Yellowwood was making fun of the Keurboom tree, right? So you are so weak, you cannot stand still, you cannot stand strong. Just then, suddenly the wind blew even harder and there was a terrible cracking noise and the big yellowwood began to break. At that time, because it was a tornado, it was a very strong wind was blowing. So there was a very big cracking noise and terrible cracking noise and the yellowwood's branches began to broke. Okay. Some of the branches broke right off and then with a terrible crash the main trunk broke in half and crashed to the ground. The little Keurboom just bent and waved in the strong wind, but it did not break. So the big yellowwood tree fell apart, broke at half, but the little Keurboom didn't break. Why it didn't break? Because it was moving its head. It has no self-pride. It was moving its head according to the wind. It was bending over. So that's why the Keurboom didn't break. So what is the moral of this story? So the moral of the story is, it is better to be quiet about ourselves than to show off. So it is very, that means it is a very good characteristic to be quiet, to be polite, to be humble, than to show off, right? So this was the moral of the story. We will discuss the questions in another video. Okay, hope you have understand. Thank you for watching.